Guys, there's a lot of like stuff that I think that is not really something to care about, you know. I barely touch grass. I'm terminally online, and I don't really, there's a lot of things that I do care about that I probably shouldn't care about. And there's a lot of things that I probably should care about, like, you know, EDP allegations or anything like that. But one thing that I can guarantee you I do not care about, that for some reason a lot of people do for some reason, is drama involving relationships. You know, things like romantic relationships, things like that. A lot of people care about that kind of stuff. And I feel like it's the most like TMZ thing to care about something so trivial as a relationship. Something that's private between two individuals. I don't care about individuals' relationships. I genuinely don't. And it's something that I've made an effort to just not care about, to not invest time into. I don't know these people unless they're my friends. I don't care about their relationship. But there is always an exception to the rule. And today's exception is, yes, Will Smith and Jada Smith. You guys saw the title. Will Smith and Jada Smith. We're going to talk about it, all right? Because I'm sick of hearing about their relationship. And you know what? I just decided, you know what? Let me do some like 10 minutes of research, and we're going to go through it all right? We're going to go through from the beginning to now, because there's some recent stuff that came out about Jada that apparently she's been divorced from Will Smith for a very, very long time, since 2016. Before we get there, let's start at the very beginning. Who is these people we're talking about? Now, who are these people we're talking about? Let's start with Will Smith. I think you guys know who Will Smith, but just in case you may not know, Willard Carroll Smith II, born September 25th, 1968, is an American actor, rapper, and film producer. He has received multiple accolades, including an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, and 4 Grammys. As of 2023, his films have grossed over $9.3 billion globally, making him one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. Will Smith, you guys know, most famous for being in Shark Tales. I think ever since Shark Tales, he's just been downhill, honestly.
Bernie, my jellyfish brothers. Hey, what's up?
Will Smith he's made a YouTube channel as well, where he uploads a bunch of videos. It's actually pretty successful for a celebrity translating over to YouTube. Usually things like that go horribly wrong, but in Will Smith's case, it did pretty well. Some of his most popular videos are when he tried online dating, I guess. Okay, kind of just doing like vlog type stuff, you know what I mean? I actually listened to this. This is actually really cool when he released this. I think this is in 2020. That was actually really fire. Jada Pinkett Smith. Who is Jada Pinkett Smith? Jada Corin Pinkett Smith, born 1971, is an American actress and talk show host. She is a co-host of the Facebook Watch talk show Red Table Talk, for which she has received a Daytime Emmy Award. Time named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2021. So yeah, she is mostly famous. I believe she is mostly famous for her Red Table Talk, where she basically is at a table with like a couple other individuals, and they just like they just shoot the stuff, pull around, talk about her life, stuff like that. I think that's basically essentially what it is. As you guys know, Jada and Will are married. They are married, happily married, very, very happily. No, they're not. I'm kidding. To give some background as to kind of what exactly their relationship was like, how they met, stuff like that, let's go over that. How did exactly they meet? After getting married in 1997, the couple welcomed their son, Jaden, in 1998, and their daughter, Willow, in 2000. So they got married since 1997, and let's read about how exactly they met, right? When Pinkett Smith was 22 years old, she met Smith when she went to audition for a role at The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which, if you guys don't know what The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is, you're lying, okay? You're lying. You're a big fat liar. In her NBC News primetime special with Hoda Kotb, Pinkett Smith recalled their first encounter. I was like, okay, he's hanging out here fishing, you know what I mean? Seeing all these pretty girls coming out the audition room, and I was like, don't talk to me unless you're trying to give me a role, she recalled and laughed. Pinkett Smith and Smith had previously talked about her audition during a 2018 conversation they had on Red Table Talk. Pinkett Smith said she didn't get the role because she was too short. I don't even know what she was like applying for, but whatever. The I Am Legend actor then said that he already knew of her because she was on the hit TV show A Different World, where she played the character Lena James. I knew there was something in our energy that would be magic, he said. While telling the story, Smith said that he asked his Fresh Prince co-star Alfonso Ribeiro if he could set them up on a date, and Ribeiro said he knew someone that could introduce them. Smith said that he went to the taping of A Different World during the first season of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to meet Pinkett Smith, but he ended up meeting his first wife, Cherie Fletcher Zampino, who's also the mother of his oldest son, Trey. Now, if you guys don't know Trey, he's kind of a person that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to Smith family. Everyone talks about Jaden and Willow and stuff, but Trey Smith this is him right here. This is him, and then this is him with the fam. His family, this is Jaden, that's Willow, and this is, in fact, Trey. So Jada is his stepmom. That fun fact, bet you didn't know that. I walked in, I sat down in the audience, and the taping started, and then Alf was like, "That's my boy that knows her." And he sat down. I was like, "Yo, who's that girl he's with?" I went to A Different World to meet Jada and met Cherie and ended up marrying Cherie and having Trey with Cherie. After a few near misses of meeting Pinkett Smith, Smith said he finally got the chance to talk to her at an event that Tisha Campbell and then her husband, Duane Martin, held. "We had that moment and we connected," he said, "but I was married. That was it." Pinkett Smith added, "We did not have an affair while he was married. Let's be clear about that." Basically, then him and Cherie get divorced, all that jazz, and he marries Pinkett Smith. They live happily ever after, that type of beat, right?
Nope.
As we know very pertinently well, Jada has this thing with a little known name called Tupac. Now, who is Tupac exactly? Tupac Amari Shakur, born Lisanne Parish Cooks, June 16th, 1971, also known by his stage name Tupac and Machiavelli, was an American rapper. He's widely considered one of the most influential and successful rappers of all time. Shakur is among the best-selling music artists, having sold in 75 million records worldwide. Much of Shakur's music has been noted for addressing contemporary social issues that plague inner cities. Meanwhile, Will Smith did Wild Wild West. Jada and Tupac have this sort of like weird relationship where they were essentially like, she loves Tupac. Jada loves Tupac even to this day, which you will see. And there was a point where their relationship even got to a point where he was sharing songs with her. And one song that specifically Jada did on, I think it was his 50th birthday, was this Instagram post where he did this song called Lost Souls. Jada Pinkett Smith, she shared it on Instagram a while ago. Here is basically that.
As many of you know, today is Pac's birthday. He would have been 50 this year. I went down memory lane. Over the years, Pac wrote me, I don't think this one has ever been published, honestly. He had a song called Lost Souls on the gang-related soundtrack, but I believe this was the original concept because he wrote this, I believe, when he was at Rikers. Some say nothing gold can last forever. And to believe this, I need no proof. I've witnessed all that was pure in me and be changed by the evil men can do. The innocence possessed by children once lived inside my soul, but surviving years with criminal peers has turned my warm heart to cold. I used to dream and fantasize, but now I'm scared to sleep, petrified not to live or die, but to awaken and still be me. It is true that nothing gold can last. We will all one day see death. When the purest hearts are torn apart, lost souls are all that's left. Down on my knees, I beg of God to save me from this fate. Let me live to see what was gold in me before it's all too late. Pac.
Damn, wasn't that inspirational? So yeah, her and Tupac had a very intimate relationship. One could even call it an entanglement. No, I'm kidding. But speaking of entanglement, that's not the only person that Jada had like a relationship with. Apparently, she had a relationship with this guy named August Alsina. From what I remember, right, I think August Alsina had to go somewhere. I think he was homeless for a little bit. I could be wrong about this, but apparently he was like homeless for a little bit, and he basically got his way into Will Smith's abode, Will and Jada Smith's abode, right? At that time, Will and Jada were having like issues or something, and basically Jada said this. She did an entanglement.
Jada Pinkett Smith brought herself to the red table, and surprisingly, her husband Will Smith joined her. They talked about pain, healing, healing, and yes, Jada's entanglement with August Alsina.
It's all love.
Recently, Alsina revealed to the world that he was involved in a relationship with Jada while she was still married. And even though statements were released denying the affair, Pinkett Smith is now reluctantly confirming that the relationship did indeed exist.
It's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's
business.
But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
He definitely wasn't.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Yes, we know.
So yeah, and yeah, you can see the pictures here. Bro is living the best life. He's getting that Jada, that prime Jada coup. So continuing on, we fast forward. So obviously the relationship, as shown, has been a little rocky. We'll say mostly Jada's side because, we got Tupac, we got August, and Will probably was at fault for a lot of stuff too. I don't care, all right? Let's fast forward to the moment where kind of a lot of this stuff got aired out. Now, when this was revealed, the entanglement stuff was revealed, that was really, really popular. This was obviously something that blew up. It really blew up, especially knowing that Jada had a talk show in the first place. I didn't even know that Red Table Talk was a thing until this came out like years ago, right? This was in 2020 where this became like really popular. And yeah, it was very awkward, especially for Will, because it's like you're in a relationship. And once again, as Will has said, every marriage has their ups and downs. And at their lowest lows, she goes and cheats on the dude. It's insane. Invites another person into their house, has sex with them. It's kind of crazy. But now let's flash forward to 2022, where probably Will Smith's most embarrassing moment happens. Let's talk about it. You guys all know this, but just for a refresh, let's talk about the slap. So at the Oscars in 2022, there's a lot of people going around. There was a giant theater of thousands of people. Basically, in order to present the awards, obviously you got to have a bit of banter at the beginning to kind of get everyone prepped up, ready to accept the awards, stuff like that. Chris Rock was invited on. Obviously, they invite comedians, and the comedian's job is to entertain and make people laugh. One of the prime ways that comedians do so is by making fun of the crowd. These people have come into the building. They know what's gonna happen. Jada knows what's gonna happen. Will Smith knows what's gonna happen. And keep in mind, we're gonna keep in mind a lot of things. But just so you guys remember, let's look at the clip one time here.
Praying that Will Smith wins, like please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow.
Damn, bro. Shit is crazy.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Dog, this lady here, I don't know who she is. Bless her. She is like, damn. Let me stay my ass away from this. By the way, Will, your breath stinks. Smells like garlic and fucking onions, buddy. I just think that is so funny that, like, when we look back on this, like, there were actually people who were, like, unironically defending Will Smith and thought that this was a good thing. I never talked about it because, like, obviously, like, where the hell am I supposed to talk about it? So let's start it from the very beginning. Bro was about to move on. He was about to move on. He made one joke that wasn't even that bad, let's be honest. All right? G.I. Jane is cool looking. The joke is that she's bald. She's bald. She is completely bald. Jada Smith, bald, chrome dome, all that jazz, right? Will Smith smacks the shit out of him because of one joke that he said. He was about to move on. His job is to make fun of people at the crowd. Will Smith, you're front and center. Your wife is front and center, ready to get roasted. And then she gets made fun of just a little bit. It wasn't even that bad. And then he came up and slapped the shit out of her. He didn't make like 8 jokes towards her. He made one. just like he does to everybody in the crowd. How entitled do you have to be? Him, and then also with Jada's reaction. Like, look at her reaction to this, bro. Like, look at her reaction. Look at this. Ugh. Like in disgust. Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? I know a lot of people blame Jada Smith for the behavior that Will Smith had. A lot of people speculated that it was actually Will Smith. Jada told Will to do that. But to my knowledge, there is no proof of that except like the eye roll thing she does. So there's really no proof of that, and I don't want to blame her for that. I'm more gonna blame Will Smith. Don't think that this is just me saying that Jada. No, I am blaming Will Smith primarily for this. So all of this is going on. A lot of people blame Jada for the slap. This went super viral. Like, if you guys see here in the Guardian News, it has 115 million views, bro. For Jada's sake, Jada said here that Jada Pinkett Smith wishes Will Smith didn't slap Chris Rock at Oscars. They agreed he overreacted. Jada Pinkett Smith is not angry with Will Smith after she slapped Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars. Yeah, I wonder why, you know what I mean? It was the heat of the moment, and it was him overreacting. He knows that. She knows that. They're in agreement that he overreacted. A source exclusively tells US Weekly where the couple stands now. They overreacted. Comedy is overall subjective, but the question is, was this comedy something that had a deeper meaning? No, because his job that he got paid to do was to go make fun of everyone. So there is no argument you can sit there and convince me that Chris Rock was at fault whatsoever. A lot of people were saying one of the biggest defenses. How dare they make fun of somebody who is balding? By the way, a lot of dudes have alopecia, and a lot of dudes worry about balding, and a lot of people make fun of dudes for balding. A lot of people, and nobody gives a shit about that. But when it's Jada, oh man, oh, the world's gonna end. Like, oh brother, bro. And not even Jada cares about this sort of thing, which is kind of further why I think that she didn't tell Will to go slap him or anything. I think it's just people being weird and trying to make this all about her. I think it's kind of strange. But anyways, here's kind of proof. This is her talking about her alopecia, which is essentially just balding at an earlier age than you should, basically. It was one of those times in my life where I was literally shaking with fear. I just had thought, okay, I think we're gonna do another layer of cutting, you know? And my hair has been a big part of me. Taking care of my hair has been a beautiful ritual, you know? And having the choice to have hair or not, and then one day be like, oh my god, I may not have the choice. Now at this point, I can only laugh. Jada Pink said in an Instagram video at the time, y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia, and just all of a sudden one day, look at this line right here. Look at that. So it just showed up like that, and this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it so y'all are not asking any questions. Then she said, but you know mama's going to put on some rhinestones in there. I'm going to make me a little crown. That's what mama's going to do. She was literally making a joke to her own baldness. Now, if you're further like, but she still cared about the baldness. She still cared. Maybe the joke was just insecurity. Let's continue reading. Pinkett Smith noted in a May 2018 Red Table Talk episode that she had taken every type of test, but doctors were still unable to deduce why she started losing her hair. Even in my terror and even in my fear and the moment of just going, oh my god, like, why are you so terrified that you might lose your hair? I really had to put it in a spiritual perspective of like, the higher power takes so much out of people. People are out here who have cancer. People who have sick children. I watch the higher power take things every day, she continued. And by golly, if the higher power wants to take your hair, that's hair. When I looked at it from that perspective, it really did settle me. She found peace in her being bald. And she doesn't even look that bad, bro. She looks fine. I think it's cool that she has a bald head representing the bald ladies. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, we're just now gonna act like she's insecure about it. That makes no sense. And if you want even further proof of that, this is her saying a long time ago, this.
I don't give two craps what people feel about this bald head of mine.
So that was a fucking lie.
Essentially, there is really no excuse you can really give to me that Will Smith was in any sort of the right. I don't know why Jada rolled her eyes. I don't know, maybe she was in a bad mood. Maybe she I don't know, left her wax trimmer at home. I don't know. I don't know, whatever. But regardless, Will Smith did in fact apologize a little bit later. I remember this was soon after the Oscars ended, but it wasn't like right away. Oh yeah, by the way, I just want to say this. Will Smith is so corny. I remember Will Smith, hold on. Guys, look, he's crying.
Time in my life, in this moment, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world.
Yes, someone who physically assaults a nigga for making fun of your wife's bald head. Yeah, we get it. Nice. Good shit.
Now, I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you.
Talk crazy about you.
In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you.
Disrespecting you. By saying you have a bald head, by making an observation.
Smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. But Richard Williams, and what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
All right, anyways, this corny ass speech aside, this nigga was completely in the wrong. He's stupid. Corny, very corny speech. He was like saying things like, oh, peace, love, and positivity, guys. I'm a beacon of love. But bro, you just physically assaulted someone in front of everyone 5 minutes ago, okay? So Will Smith then put out an apology saying, violence in all its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of a job, but joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There's no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. He did apologize, but people were like, is this genuine? I don't know. So he decided to make another apology on his YouTube channel to Chris Rock. By the way, at this point, Chris Rock has not really reached out to him at all. Understandable why. You physically assaulted him for him saying a joke. I don't think he wants to say anything to you because he's afraid to get slapped again. Alright, but let's go ahead and hear some things he said in this video. It says, it's been a minute, yada yada. Let's go.
I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony Rock was my man, and this is probably irreparable.
Yeah, it probably is. I would be mad at someone if they slapped my brother in the face, and I probably wouldn't talk to them, especially when my brother didn't deserve it. As you guys can tell, I don't feel any sympathy for Will Smith here. He got banned from the Oscars. I know some people were like, well, that's not fair because he's black. No, it's because he physically assaulted someone on a stage. It doesn't matter if he's black or not, bro. Regardless though, this is all to say, Will Smith and Jada have been in a weird relationship. I think she revealed at some point before that they had, there's something about their sex life that I'm not going to get into, and I'm not going to even do research on because I don't care and I don't want to know about their sex life. I don't know. No, I don't want to know. But recently, there was actually as recent as 2 days ago, as we're recording of this video, where Jada Pinkett Smith said something that really intrigued a lot of people, you know what I mean? One, that she sold as a teenager. That's... But the biggest thing is that she revealed things about Tupac, who we talked about earlier. She had a very close relationship with him. In here, we kind of get a sense of how close their relationship were. Maybe they were friends. Maybe, no. Soulmate. We are soulmates. Jada Pinkett Smith calls Tupac her soulmate. Her soulmate. Do you know how crazy a soulmate is? That is more than just like a partner or whatever. That is soulmate, bro. That is insanity. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. She goes into a little bit about it when she revealed that apparently Tupac had alopecia but never told anyone, apparently. She said, I don't think Pac ever talked about his alopecia, but he also looked really good with a bald head. But that was during a time and during an era that he wouldn't talk about it. And not only that, but she also revealed a little bit ago also that apparently her and Will Smith, as I said in the beginning, had been divorced since 2016.
Surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
There you see her, she's like, yep, we're gone. So this was some recent information that got built up again. She's been divorced from Will since 2016. So Will defended someone that he wasn't even really in a relationship with. I don't understand why he decided to do that. I don't understand why he was so emotional that day that the nigga was crying buckets of freaking tears. It's like one of those things where it's just like, bro, what is going on? The fact that Jada, there was also some videos and stuff that I didn't really show of her doing things like putting the camera on him, and then he was like, no, I don't want to, and then she kind of side-eyed him like she was a little mad or whatever. It's just certain things like that that really make me put into perspective that, man, it is insane the amount of stuff that Jada Pinkett Smith is revealing about their relationship and revealing about like just them and just her mentality on things like Tupac and August and all that jazz. And it really is interesting. And I've always wondered to myself, why is Jada Pinkett Smith doing this? But it's the most obvious answer of all time. Why is she doing this? Why is this the case? Because we're talking about it. That's why. I'm talking about it. I am part of the problem. Everyone who's viewing it, all 86 million freaking people that gets eyes on her, that is why she's talking about it. Because she, let's be honest, all right? I never even heard of the red table talk until the whole entanglement thing happened. And then the slap happened, and then a lot of people took her side. A lot of people were like, oh no, yeah, he deserved to get slapped because Jada don't be getting blah, blah, blah. All that BS, right? There was a lot of people that knew Jada's name because of that. Obviously, people knew Jada before, but it's like she was never like the forefront of things until now. So now I think she's trying to recreate those moments, getting those viral moments by revealing more stuff about their weird ass relationship. Like, I think she's gonna continue doing this because she's getting eyes on her. She's getting clout from it. She's getting things like that. And I genuinely think that's what it is. That's what I really think. I think that she's doing it because she's getting more popular off it. Her name is getting out there more. And thus her show is going to get on. Then she get more money and yada, yada, yada. You get the point. But basically, she is doing this because people won't stop talking about it. Will Smith's relationship and her relationship is interesting to dissect because people saw it as like a perfect relationship. You know, marriage, kids, all that jazz. But in reality, it seems like it was a shit show, if we're being, if more than anything. Not to say that there aren't good moments or anything, but it definitely, the downs are down. They are really, really down. That is that. I think that we got to stop talking about Jada Pinkett Smith. This is the only video I'm ever going to make on this topic. That's why I covered everything that's happened up to this point. Jada reveals more tumbleweeds, bro. I'm going to have tumbleweeds. And honestly, the reason why I care so much about this relationship, right, about their relationship in particular, is because I wanted them to shut up. I want both of them to just shut up. I don't want to hear any more about any sense of your relationship ever again. Update. I'm not done. As I was editing this video, there was actually some other stuff that came out now. Jada Pinkett Smith clarifies on the Today Show that she and Will Smith are working to reconcile. There's no finding another great love, and I think that's the point. We are working very hard at bringing our relationship together back to a life partnership. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I swear she's like, she has to be schizophrenic or something. Bro, what are we talking about? You said like 2 days ago that Tupac's your fucking soulmate. It just makes no sense to me. It actually makes no sense to me. Like, I have a hard time understanding. I'm actually starting to feel bad for Will Smith again because it's like, why did you marry this crazy person? Why? She's crazy. She's actually crazy. It's insane. Like, the people who like flip like that on a dime, like you do not want to associate with those kinds of people, man. They're weird. Regardless though, this is very strange. And as you can see by the comments, you can see that, like, nobody cares. We should all know less about each other. She was probably talking about how they've been separated for 6 years in public just days ago, and now they're working on reconciliation. Adore me. Bro, I saw this really funny one. Jada Pinkett reveals she is Tupac. Anytime I hear about Jada's Pinkett, pretty much. After you said Tupac was your soulmate, sis, come on, please be serious. That's what I'm saying, man. You can't say someone's your soulmate and they'll be like, we're working on reconciliation. As I said before, this doesn't really change my opinion on anything. She's doing this for attention, and she's probably in a week's time or something, she'll probably report that she once had Tupac's throbbing. Never mind. We're just gonna stop there. I won't go grab either way. I am starting to feel bad for Will Smith. I honestly believe that, like, I know there were so many people who said like Jada ruined his life or something. I don't think it's anything that dramatic, but I can definitely see why he's so like flickered on all the time, because holy crap, she's a struggle. She's a struggle, and I can definitely see that she is definitely taking a toll in recent times. Either way, that's just me being dumb. I don't like talking about relationships, so I'm probably not gonna update this anymore. I just wanted to reveal this now because why not?